with us. Mike Kelly is a columnist with the Bergen, New Jersey Record. He broke the story about Al-Qaeda operatives living in northern New Jersey. Intelligence and law enforcement communities, according to his reporting, have been tracking these terrorist suspects. They have actually thwarted some of their activities. And we welcome you, Mike Kelly, to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com. How did you get onto this story without revealing your sources?
Basically, I called up the FBI and asked them to if I could get a look at how their Joint Terrorism Task Force is working here in northern New Jersey. I mean, some background here. I have been covering various elements of this story since September 11th, 2001. I can look out my window here in the newsroom and see, or I could see, the World Trade Center. And on that day, I walked into Ground Zero about 2 hours after the towers fell, didn't come home for 3 days, and then just kept going back and writing about this story as much as I could. And I've tracked it literally from Ground Zero to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where some of the hijackers held their first meetings, and then ended up in New Jersey. I've been to Guantanamo Bay. I was one of the first journalists into Guantanamo Bay. I covered the 9/11 Commission. And then I've written quite a bit about the dangers or how vulnerable New Jersey is to potential terrorist attack. There's been a lot of talk about the dangers here from our chemical plants and that sort of thing. And plus I've tracked how some of the hijackers actually lived here in New Jersey. 11 of the 19 9/11 hijackers were living in New Jersey at one time or another. So this is very much a story that's close to home. But I wanted to get inside our counterterrorism efforts as best I could, and so I called up the FBI and asked them if I could do this, and they agreed. They let me in. Now there was a lot of restrictions on what I could know, and there was a lot of restrictions on what we could photograph and that sort of thing. But within those restrictions, I think I was able to tell a very compelling tale, and that was the column that you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm getting attacked by terrorists right now. I'm listening to you, and all of a sudden on my computer screen, it gets covered up. My Internet Explorer opens up, and it says, "Congratulations, you have just successfully installed such and such toolbar," which means I'm not controlling my computer any longer. Somebody else is. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a type of terrorism. Not quite as serious as what we're talking about here. But it just drives me crazy when it happens. Anyways, Mike Kelly from the Bergen County Record in New Jersey. One of the things that you found out is that this Joint Terrorism Task Force has done an amazing job in protecting those of us who live and work in the metro New York area.
Correct. Well, yes. I think there is a reason why we have not been attacked, why America has not been attacked on American soil since 9/11. And I think it has to do, in large measure, with the fact that there are a lot of cops and a lot of FBI agents, CIA agents who are working really hard trying to protect our country. So I wanted to get a sense of how that's being done right here in New Jersey. And what I found was that they have, just here in New Jersey, they have 400 active cases right now. Now, some of these are relatively small. They're just tips that they have to check out, but some of them are fairly substantial. I mean, they've caught people who were trying to buy missiles here, ground-to-air missiles. They were part of the FBI here in Newark, were part of the case that involved the breakup of the alleged Fort Dix terrorist plot that was a national story a number of months ago. FBI agents here from New Jersey were also involved in helping to catch some of those involved in the Daniel Pearl murder that took place in Pakistan. Daniel Pearl being the Wall Street Journal reporter. You'd perhaps ask why are FBI agents from New Jersey doing that? Pearl's family was from New Jersey, so that's how the FBI here in New Jersey got the case. But also, I was able to find out that on any given month, the Joint Terrorism Task Force is tracking down between 10 and a dozen tips about potential weapons of mass destruction terrorism, and many of these turn out to be just false alarms. But that's the kind of work that these guys are doing. These guys and women as well.
And I want to get that in greater detail up against the heart rate. So we'll be right back. Go away. You're online with News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
In a world where radio has always been one dimension, it's time to get the full video experience of Doug Steffen's Good Day from Paltalk at DougSteffen.com.
Wait a minute. Did you say video with Doug Steffen's Good Day radio show?
Yes, you heard me. Hundreds of thousands of people have discovered that watching Doug Steffen and his Good Day crew is twice as fun as just listening.
Radio with pictures? Ha! It'll never work.
No. Trust me on this one.
Yeah, I bet it involves downloading a bunch of stuff and answering a bunch of questions that I don't want to answer.
No, not at all. Just go to DougSteffen.com and select the Chat Now button at the top of the page. Download the simple ActiveX file and give yourself a nickname. Then you can look in on Doug and the whole Good Day crew. You'll also get to meet and get to chat with other Good Day fans from all over the world. And of course, it's all free.
Aha! Does that mean that I'll get to see what Doug and his crew do while the commercials are playing? What do they do?
Yes, but I can't tell you that. You'll just have to go to DougSteffen.com and click on the Chat Now button to find out. Then you can watch Doug Steffen's Good Day every day for free from Doug Steffen and Paltalk.
Hey, Tony Scott here for Advanced Sounds International, the best interactive TV and radio now available online at asi-online.org. Experience a broad range of programming, including some of the top names in syndicated radio, and a growing variety of movies, music, and more. It's radio with vision for the very best in independent interactive programming, asi-online.org. That's asi-online.org.
Do you find it hard to make friends? Easy, by joining the world's #1 in chat. www.paltalk.com is where you download the software for the #1 chat program. In conjunction with Gemini Sound Radio, we're proud to be a part of the most awesome chat program around the world today. Once again, to download the software, visit www.paltalk.com. Alternatively, you can join the chat room here at Gemini Sound Radio by visiting the website at www.geminisoundsradio.co.uk. Click the link, come say hi to the DJs and the listeners.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet. More than 4 million unique users, now on demand on iTunes. I'm your host, Gary Baumgarten. My guest is Mike Kelly. He is a columnist for the Bergen County Record in northern New Jersey. And he uncovered the fact that there are Al-Qaeda cells that are active even today in northern New Jersey. You know, I've been aware of some of the activities. I came over here to Paltalk from CNN. I was the bureau chief in New York for CNN Radio for